evening, everyone. Welcome to Songwriter Spotlight, brought to you from right here on the grounds of the West Tennessee Delta Heritage Center in Brownsville, Tennessee. We're home of the West Tennessee Music Museum, the Sleepy John Estes Home, as well as the Tina Turner Museum. We're so happy to have you with us this evening. We're here to spotlight area singer-songwriters, and tonight our special guest is Terry Wall. He's a Memphis musician, and many of you may recognize him from his band name, Terry Wall and the Wallbangers. Help me welcome him. Terry, thank you so much for being here tonight. It's such a pleasure to have you here on our sound stage. Let's just start with you telling me what came first, your singing or your guitar playing?
They came about the same time, but of course when I was real little singing, then 9 years old, the guitar and singing. Then drums. I switched to really drums about 10, 11 years old. I played drums up to about 18. And I always played guitar. But then I switched back like playing lead guitar and did that ever since. So, people pay me now not to play drums, actually.
You told me a really cool story about singing on a bus. Tell us about that.
Oh, yeah. I was a little kid, keep in mind, about 8 years old. Me and my mother are headed to Dallas, Texas on a Greyhound bus. I, of course, wasn't playing guitar or anything, but I always sang with the radio. Everybody thought the little kid was cute. My mother was, sing that song, that Dean Martin, Anyway, we're on the bus, and so happened a guy had a box guitar. Don't know who he was. He broke it out and started playing, and people were applauding him, and he really wasn't singing, but he was just playing and stuff. And he come over, and I stood up and started singing, and we sang, "He's too old to cut mustard anymore," 8 years old. And then I also sang, "Everybody loves somebody sometime," the old Dean Martin. And they loved it. And all the people started applauding. I said, yeah, this is cool. I might be able to do this. And that's kind of where, but it was, it probably was pretty funny looking to see a little 8-year-old kid singing Dean Martin, "Everybody loves somebody," That had to be funny. Well, I wish we'd had cameras back in them days on some things. Not on all things.
So we can pretty much pinpoint that as being when you suddenly decided that a music career might be feasible.
Yeah, right. That's about when it started happening, yeah. From that point on, I kind of decided, this is, of course, when I was a little bitty kid, even before that, everybody, you may not, us old folks remember this, but there used to be a lot of pantomime going on. People would pantomime. And when I was in Pope Elementary School, which is where you went before you, and then after that you went to Humes, if you graduated, whatever. But I was at Pope Elementary, 3rd grade maybe. Around that same time, I guess, and I would always take my Elvis records to school. And the teacher, about every day or every other, maybe once a week, I don't know when it was, she would treat us all if we were good and let us dance. Well, I would bring my Elvis records, and I'd dress like Elvis. I'd wear my white blue jean jacket, my white blue jean pants. Now, I was a diva then, I'm not anymore. And I'd get up in front of the whole class, and I'd sing, "I'm talking about them girls, I'd sing the whole Girls album. I loved it, and pantomime to it, but I didn't sing it. I just, back then you just pantomimed. And I knew them all. And that's, I thought, this is cool here, And that got to be a regular occurrence. And then we'd all dance. I thought, And then I actually started, singing. They started letting me sing a little bit.
You've been in music for quite a while, and you've played with some pretty influential people. Let's talk a little bit about people that you've had the pleasure of working with over the years.
I think I told you earlier, I was young then, about 19, 20. I played with Charlie McLean for, 3 or 4 concerts. It wasn't a lot. She was a sweetheart, and her brother Mike McLean. We did some things live at the Orpheum. I think I told you about that. Now that was fun. That was real early. Before that though, even we played rock and roll. And then I got that chance to play in a country band with her a little bit. So I did it. Come out of that, back to rock and roll, Wilbanks and Wall Band. We started, recording, writing more and a lot, and that's when I met Roland James. I think I mentioned that. Started working at Sam Phillips recording service with Roland on a lot of our tunes and other people's too sometimes. That was really a blessing in my life to have known Roland James. And he mentored me along, pretty good. I mean, he was a great guitar player. He was like innovative when he got started. I remember he told me one time, I was real fast, everybody was playing blah, blah, blah. Yes was popular, stuff, real heavy stuff. But Roland told me one time, he said, "Now, Terry, you're a real good guitar player, but you know what? You need to slow down." And he said, "Hey, one note sometimes in the right place is better than a whole bunch in the wrong place." And he was right, of course, because, back then it was faster you played, everybody wanted to play fast. But yeah, Roland I got to play on a 45 record with Roland. I wished I had it. It was an old song called Matilda. And we both played lead on it. And I'll never forget it. Roland said, "Terry, you play lead up here, whatever you want." He goes, he said, "Terry, I'm gonna play up here. I want you to play lead down there." And we're both playing lead track at the same time on Matilda, I cried and cried for you. The old Matilda song. And I remember thinking, yeah, this will never work. Playing lead at the same time, completely two different themes. He did not accent me. And he wanted it that way. He was producing the record, of course, and here I am. We're doing, he's doing one thing, I'm doing another thing. But after it came together, it was really cool. But see, I was young then. To me, I thought it was nuts. But after I'd come back and heard the record, it was really it was unique sounding. Two lead guitar players playing two completely different things. That was in the '80s, early '80s. So that was a long time ago.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your songwriting. When did that start?
I was 13 when I started trying to write songs, and I've written a bunch since then, but really got hard into songwriting probably about 18 on, 17 on, stuff like that. Started really getting into writing a lot, Because, that's one thing, the reason I think I started writing, I figured if I write my own songs, if I mess up, nobody's going to know. I could say that's the way I wrote it, right? Everybody does that, right? So I think that, and maybe I wasn't good enough to play the other stuff, so I figured I'll write my own, Can't nobody say I'm wrong.
Well, how about sharing one of those with us now?
Okay. Here's a song I wrote. I put it on my CD that I cut I cut this up at Roland Studios with Don Nix producing. And this was on our first CD he and I worked on together. It's called Getting On Board. Don later on cut this and we did a duet and put it on his record. Anyhow. This ain't no joke, even though I'm laughing. This ain't no dream, 'cause I'm not sleeping. This time it's for real, it's really happening. My ship's coming, and I'm getting on. Getting on board, I'm walking up the plane. I'm getting on board, I got the Lord in mind. Well, thank you, Jesus, hear me when I pray. My ship's coming, and I'm sailing away. I've been down in the gutter. Yeah, I've been lost like a sheep without a rudder. But now I'm found. Let me tell you, my brother, my ship's coming, and I'm sailing away. Getting on board, I'm walking up the lane. Getting on board, and I got to load the thing. Well, thank you, Jesus, for hearing me when I pray. My sail away. I'm getting on board. I'm walking up the plain. I'm getting on board. I got to load the thing. Thank you, Jesus. Hear me when I pray. My ship's coming, and I'm sailing away. My ship's coming, and I'm getting on board.
When you're writing, is there a certain theme that just keeps surfacing? Where do you find your inspiration most of the time?
Well, not necessarily. I write all different kinds of stuff. Rock, country, blues, and just a little bit of everything. Inspires me. Everything a little bit inspires me. I wrote a song about the Twin Towers once. I'm not gonna play that though. It's kind of heavy, but things like that sometimes will inspire you. Like I told you, that song there, what inspired me there, I told you earlier, I was really down and out when I wrote that song. And I go to my mailbox, it just so happened I was in the middle of cutting that whole CD. And I went to my mailbox and I got my mail out and I got in the house there, I looked at it and there was like a postcard, some kind of advertisement. It said, "Your ship's come in." And I'm thinking, yeah, right. So I sat down and wrote that song. About 15 minutes later, there that was. So, sometimes that's inspiration, I guess you'd say. I've written some religious songs like that. I call them religious, spiritual, whatever you want to call them, that came to me like that. Just, really kind of, hit me all of a sudden, like, yeah.
Well, let's talk about the Wall Bangers. People obviously recognize that name. How long have y'all been playing together?
A little over 20 years. Our motto is on even the card, it says, "Rockin' the Blues." So that's kind of what we do.
So how would you classify your song, "Don't Worry Me Now"?
Man, I don't know. I put that on my last CD, came out in 2018. I don't know, that was with Travis Womack, my buddy, played and co-produced that record with me. And Billy Lawson, the studio guy, he had a lot to do with it. But I don't know, man. I kind of look at it as a little country, Other people told me it kind of sounds, folkish, so, I don't know. And then when I got interviewed down there in Muscle Shoals where we cut it, and they all said it was Americana. People want to pigeonhole you. It's easier to book you sometime. Well, yeah, he plays blues, we'll book that. He plays rock, he plays country. But, I'm liable to be playing Jimi Hendrix and turn around and play that song. But yeah, I like it all. As long as it's got a beat, the kids like it, I like it.
Well, I'd like to hear "Don't Worry Me Now."
Don't worry me right now, would you? Yeah, this is on that last 2018 Sistine. It's called, it's the name of the record. What is the name? It's Memphis to Muscle Shoals, the name of the CD. You can look it up like that. Every time that you call, you can't say something good about someone, or don't say nothing at all. And don't worry me now that we're through. You say that you're happy, say you're free. I wouldn't treat a dog the way you treated me. You always thought you were better than most. I heard the less of me you say. Well, now you're on your own and you don't
say that you're happy, and you say you're free. Why the hell are you still calling me? Don't worry now that we're through. You say that you're happy, you say you're free. Why the hell are you still calling me? I guess you'll always be somewhere beside me, somewhere deep in my heart. I know you love me, but I'll never forget the way you told us apart. And don't worry now that we're through. You say that you're happy, and you say you're free. I wanna treat you all the way you treated me.
Let's go back a little bit to the guitar. How did you learn to play the guitar?
Listening to the radio, taking the, back in them days they were called LPs, and I'd pick the arm up, and I'd hear the guitar riff, and I'd pick that arm up, and I'd back that record up, and I'd listen to it over and over and over again. That's how I got to play in lead, but, I don't know, it just kind of seems natural. I don't know. I mean, we started playing as kids, 9 years old, and my grandmother would allow us to practice in her back room, and we were terrible, of course.
Tell me what inspired Old Man in the Mirror.
Have you not been looking at me? I mean, what inspired that? I'll be honest with you, it goes back to my grandmother a little bit. And of course she's gone now, bless her heart. But I was in the mirror like we all do, in the morning, get ready, whatever, comb your hair, and in the mirror there, get it straightened out. And I kind of looked in the mirror, I kind of realized that guy's kind of old, he don't look like, who is this guy? Kind of what that thing, and I thought about what my grandma told me, and this was years and years ago, and she said, yeah, I got a problem with my Band-Aid on my bad finger, but she said, Terry, when I go to the mirror, my eyes, I see myself and through my eyes, and I don't really see the old person. I just look, she was like through her eyes, she didn't, and I remember thinking that was kind of cool, but it was also kind of strange, but now I understand that. Our eyes don't age really, the actual eyes, the get wrinkles around them, but the eyes don't really age. Although I'm getting cataracts.
Hey, how you doing? It's been a long time. At least we're both still standing, and that's a mighty good sign. I've been pretty lucky, yeah, and I've done pretty bad. I really can't complain, except when I go to comb my hair, and there's no man in the mirror, and he's looking back at me. He's looking through my eyes, yeah, but he doesn't really see me. Boy, that's inside me. Oh, the man in the mirror, and he's looking back at me. He's looking through my eyes, and he doesn't really see the boy that's inside me. Oh, the man I used to be. Hey, old man in the mirror, stop looking at me. Hey, old man in the mirror, hey, old man in the mirror.
You obviously like to have a lot of fun and joke, but your songs are pretty solemn.
Well, let's stop that right now, okay?
Okay, what you got upbeat we can play?
I've been working my mind too hard. I'm gonna give my brain a break today. And if she's gone and ain't never coming back, that'll just be okay. 'Cause the sun is shining, gonna stop my whining and get up, get out of this place. I gotta keep rolling, I feel the breeze blowing gently across my face. And I don't care what you think about me, much less what other people say. Don't direct me or try to dissect me. Let me live my own way. 'Cause the sun is shining, I need to stop this whining. I gotta get up, get out of this space. Gotta get going, I feel the breeze blowing gently across my face. Now people will tell you what they don't know, what's really going on. You spend your time worried about other people's business, or you can just mind your own. Sun is shining, stop your whining, get up, get out of this space. I gotta get going, feel the breeze blowing gently across my face. I said gently across my face.
Well, that was a good one. What inspired that song? What's the story behind it?
Just what you said. I got tired of being down and out, and I wrote that song. You know, just got tired of that old bleh, bleh, bleh. You know, and I decided to change the scenery. Yeah, I like the upbeat stuff myself.
Thank you all for tagging along with us tonight. It has been so much fun here with Terry Wall, hearing his stories and his music. I hope that you will check him out online and maybe purchase a CD or 3. Terry, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to have you here at the Delta Heritage Center. Is there something you can kind of just pull out of your hat to play us out on?
Well, yeah, I could probably do something. Yeah, here's one. You want something fast, right?
Up to
Here's
you.
one I wrote a long time ago about musicians and women's.
I've been down that road before. Yeah, I've been down that road before. And ain't no dang woman telling me anything anymore. Yeah, I've been good as a man can be. And I take all my money home. I just sit there and watch TV. Until one day when I came home, well, she was on the couch, but she wasn't alone. You never know. I said you never really know until you've been down that road. You never know. And there won't be nobody there to tell you anything anymore. Yeah, and I put down my guitar for a woman one time. And I stopped singing the blues. I started working overtime. But that didn't do me no good.